Everyone talks about summer like it's supposed to be carefree. But if this season brings up money stress, body stress, family stress, or social stress, that's real too. Growth therapy can help with that. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person visits, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage by state and insurance plan.
Welcome back to The Real Dish. Today, we're talking about something that can feel equal parts exhilarating and terrifying, traveling solo. Now, before you picture yourself stranded in a foreign country with a dead phone battery and no Wi-Fi, hear me out. Some of the most important journeys we take aren't necessarily across oceans or continents. They're the ones that bring us back to ourselves. And lately, I've been thinking a lot about that. I have been on a traveling, let's just call it splurge. I have gone to many, many places, mostly traveling with my husband over the past couple of years. But just a few weeks ago, I did something that I don't nearly do enough. And that is I packed a bag, drove into the Santa Monica Mountains, about 3 hours away, and attended a wellness retreat completely by myself. No husband, no friends, no crew, just myself with no schedule to manage. That was all taken care of by someone else. And for 3 days at Commune in Topanga Canyon, I traded notifications for birds, deadlines for sunset walks, and screen time for actual human connection. And it was great. And I put my phone on airplane mode most of the time. The retreat was called The Perfect Weekend, hosted by Skylar Grant and Jeff Krasno. They are the co-founders of Commune, and they have a podcast, and they do lots of live events. But this was honestly, it felt like an adult summer camp for wellness nerds. And that's me. Perfect. So we explored everything from yoga and breath work to cold plunges, which I thought I didn't like, but after the weekend, now I love them. Sauna, metabolic health information, a doctor sharing information about peptides, circadian rhythms, hiking, lifting, and Jeff's fascinating idea of eating stressed plants for wellness. So I was all about it. And what surprised me most wasn't the science, because I'm already a disciple of it. I'm already a big believer in lifestyle hacks. It was what happened when I stepped outside my normal environment and gave myself permission to simply be and trust someone else with my schedule. That included sitting in a jacuzzi at dark with a bunch of women that I didn't know, that I had just met, that I felt so connected with, being serenaded by crickets, to hike without a destination because I wasn't leading it. I was just following and letting other people lead the way. It included those meaningful conversations with women I had never met before, from all over the country, even all over the world. I had some incredible conversations with 2 women from Kenya that had been raised there and one from Cameroon. And to remember that solitude and loneliness are not the same thing. And I think that maybe that's one of the greatest gifts of solo travel. It's really giving yourself a chance to explore, to be courageous, to be adventurous, and to open yourself up to new opportunities and new experiences that can help you grow in areas of your life that you never could have imagined. So I think whether it's a weekend retreat like that in the mountains, or a road trip, or a flight halfway around the world, traveling alone creates space. Space to hear your own thoughts, space to get curious again, space to reconnect with the person you've become, and maybe even discover parts of yourself you have forgotten. The nature was really healing for me. The fresh mountain air was truly restorative. But the unexpected cherry on top was the new community that I met. There is something really powerful about gathering with like-minded women who are asking similar questions and navigating similar transitions, which we all were, and choosing growth over comfort. Which brings us to today's guest, my very dear friend now, after getting to know her by meeting her on social media, Renee Landers. She's known as Renee Fit Over 70. She's a bodybuilder. She is a world traveler. She is now a pageant, participant. She's going to be in her first pageant here coming up in July. And she just inspires me endlessly. And we're going to dive into the world of solo travel, which is something that she has really been embracing and embarking on. She's gone to so many destinations. You'll hear all about it. She really leapt into this just in the last couple of years. We'll learn why she's embracing it, why more women than ever are embracing it, and what it teaches us about confidence, resilience, and how saying yes to adventure might be one of the best investments we can make in ourselves. So whether you've already booked a solo trip or you're secretly dreaming about one, or the thought makes you break out in hives, or maybe you're ready to say yes to one, and maybe it's just even the one that I'm about to offer. Oh yeah, we're going somewhere, baby. This episode is for you. So let's peel back the onion and join me at the chef's table. Welcome to The Real Dish Show, the place where we peel back the onion on your fabulously fit life. I'm Chef Mareya, the fit foodie. And with over 30 years of experience in the health and wellness world, I'm here to guide you on this journey to uncover the keys to living a vibrant, balanced life. Whether you're seeking practical tips for nutrition, fitness, mental well-being, or simply craving insightful conversations with experts in the field, you've come to the right place. Now get ready to embark on a holistic adventure toward a healthier, happier you, and make shift happen for good. Renee, it's so good to have you back on the show.
It's so good to see you again, Mareya. I'm so thrilled to be here with you today.
I always love chatting with you. You are just so inspiring in so many different ways. And I've had the privilege of actually basking in the glow of your personal presence, not just on social media. And I can attest to the fact that it's as pure in person as it is online. So that's just not something that I can say about everybody. But today I really wanted, aside from all of your accomplishments as a bodybuilder, as I'm going to say age positive, person in the media. I mean, you're everywhere these days, Renee. I see you all over. And you're going to be in your first pageant. I mean,
yes, I know. I can't.
Where do you get this energy? Let's just kind of start there.
I don't know. One thing my mother said whenever I was growing up, I heard her say, I make my energy. I still remember my mother saying that. And I feel like that's what I do. I just make my energy. Energy begets energy. And I hang around with awesome people like you. Y'all give me energy. I mean, and it's the power of yes. It's all about saying yes, really, Mareya. When I think back on things, that has something to do with, that's energizing whenever you've got something new to tackle, So there's so many things, but life is good and I'm making the most of every day.
Have you always been this person that said yes to things?
Well, I've always thought about things I wanted to do, but I didn't always say yes. So I haven't always been that person. But as time has gone by and time is going by, it makes me realize more how important it is to not just say no to everything and stay in a comfort zone. Because when you say yes to things, things really start happening. You know, you're saying yes to things you may be afraid of or you've never had a chance to do, and it's energizing. It really is. So
It's so inspiring to me because I think that we've grown up with this idea that you get to a certain place in life and you start to slow down. And I'm doing air quotes here for people who aren't watching. Air quotes, slow down. Really, you are the opposite. When did you hit that point where you did start to say yes more because of the perspective that you have?
Well, the first big time I remember of saying yes was when I finally said yes to doing my first bodybuilding competition. That really was pivotal to me because I had been working out for years, lifting weights, and I was saying no to the competition, even though my trainer was encouraging me. And once I said yes to that, things really changed after that. I mean, I just, we have a whole nother talk show about that. But yeah,
I was
that's
going
what
to
started.
say, I'm going to put in the show notes the interview that we first did where we really dove into that, which was so
Okay.
inspiring. But can you just share, Renee, how young were you when you did say yes to your first bodybuilding competition? So
Oh,
people who are not familiar know.
yes. I was 69 years young when I said yes to my first bodybuilding show. And that was after many years of saying no. I started lifting weights at 60 after a lower lumbar fusion. And within a year or two is whenever I was being encouraged to compete by my trainer. But I kept saying no because wanted to stay in my little comfort zone, go to the gym, do my little weights and this and that. And then that was it. But
Well, let's
things,
be honest. Stepping on a bodybuilding stage is not for the weak at heart. I
it's
mean,
not
I don't
easy.
care. I don't care how young you are.
Yes.
It's not easy. And to do that after major back surgery at 69 and really just having spent a handful of years, not your whole life lifting
Mhm.
weights. This was a tremendous thing to say yes to, and it's really snowballed into so many things. I know you've walked fashion runways, you've traveled internationally and walked the stage at the Arnold competition. You are in bikinis modeling for, for Angel in the Angel competition bikinis. I mean, it doesn't end. But today I really want to dive into travel because as we unpack what brings us joy in this season of life, let's just call it the second act. I am finding, and I know you feel this way, that travel is an incredible opportunity to get past your four corners, of your own existence and really see the world. Talk about saying yes. When did you decide to take your first solo trip? Meaning you weren't traveling with anybody, you were going on your own
Mhm.
to explore a foreign place.
Well, years ago, I did a couple of little trips. Like I went to Club Med once whenever my son was little, and then I did one other trip. But those were long ago, and then I didn't do it anymore for years. But really, when it all started really happening was a few years ago when I got invited to one of my girlfriends from the Angel Competition Bikini World to attend her 50th birthday party in Qatar. She lives in Qatar. And she was just adorable. This is part of the joy of all these groups that I'm involved in. And thought, well, that's so far away, and this was months ahead. And I said, yes, I'm going to your birthday party, Julia. And that got the wheels turning because I knew if I'm going to go all the way over there, well, I've got to go to some other places first. And that's what happened. That's really was the beginning of just getting energized about this solo travel. And so many things happened. It was like a 27-day adventure through 6 countries. And I mean, I've got goosebumps right now talking about it because that, I could go on forever about that. I went to so many different countries. I met friends that were my friends on Instagram in Italy. They showed me around in different countries.
That's when social media works well,
yes.
right?
And you don't have to be so afraid. You get to know these people. And in Dubai, I ended up staying with a girlfriend from Instagram who was lovely, and her family just treated me like a queen. And and then I made my way. Oh, I did a 10-day cruise during that process around Greece, and then ended up in Qatar. So anyway, it was just magical. It really was, and it inspired me. And I did the same thing this past year in Thailand. I went to Thailand because I got invited to a wedding of another bodybuilder, Angel girlfriend, and her man, and that was also magical. And I went through several countries to get there, and I mean, it's like I just can't believe it. It's just so cool, and it's empowering. It is. You just don't know what's going to happen, and I could go on, but yes, it's spectacular, and just one thing leads to another. So it's really nothing to be afraid of. But be smart, be cautious, and plan.
What were your biggest fears, Renee, of taking that first step? Because, I mean, obviously, to go to Qatar is literally around the world. That's not a small step to take, in terms of traveling. But what were the fears that ran through your mind before you decided to say yes?
Well, of course, the big fear we all have is being afraid of danger. Something could happen to me. Someone could hurt me or kidnap me, any of that stuff. So that was, of course, some fear. And the fear of being alone and being lonely. Part of that fear is, well, I don't have anyone else with me to accompany me to make sure I'm okay. So those are typical fears that people have.
And were you afraid of just not being able to speak the language, or a fear of not, a lot of people fear not being able to communicate with others and express what they need, especially in a country that, English is not the first language. Did you experience much of that?
I actually didn't let that bother me much. I mean, I'm half Italian. I should know a lot of Italian, but I don't. And so part of my journey starting in Italy, I didn't worry about it for some reason. I mean, I had my, Google Translate, and I had been to Italy before.
We have tools.
Yeah. There's all kind of ways you can talk. So that didn't bother me. I mean, there was one country, I can't remember which one. They didn't speak much English. That was on the second trip when I was going, I think in Singapore or somewhere, and at an airport, because I needed to. I'm digressing, but I got to this airport, and I had about an 8-hour layover to get from one place to another. And when I got there, I realized I was not at the airport where I was going to be departing in 8 hours. And this is part of solo travel, booking your own stuff, And these people in Singapore didn't speak much English in the airport. So that's something I remember. I mean, I've done a couple of crazy things. I've actually been to the wrong airport recently. When I went to London, I was going to go to Tenerife, to the Canary Islands, and I went to the wrong airport, and I had to quickly get an Uber to the correct airport. So this kind of stuff.
Did you go to Heathrow when you should have gone to Gatwick?
Actually, no. It was these small airports, because Big Heathrow, I did Big Heathrow, but going from London to Tenerife in the Canary Islands, they have small airports and small airplanes. So there was one sounded like the other. And when I booked it, I thought, oh, that sounds right. And I book it. And then I get to that airport very early, and I'm checking in, and the lady says, no, you're at the wrong airport. So I had to quickly,
well, that's a good reason for checking in early.
That's right. Oh, definitely. But the one where I couldn't speak the language very well, that was in Singapore. And I was really nervous because I found out I wasn't at the airport where they were going to pick me up to go to my next place. And it worked out. They were very kind, and I was nervous. And as it turned out, in Singapore, I had a long layover, and they had a shuttle to go from this airport I arrived in to this other airport I was going to need to go to, and it was a free shuttle, and instead of getting freaked out about it, which I was a little bit, I said, "Well, this is my adventure. I get a free tour through Singapore for an hour," and that's what I did. That's how I look at. You've got to think positive. Because golly, I'm getting to travel the world here, seeing places that people don't get to see. And
Yes.
I'm not going to let those little scary things that do happen get the best of me. And so it's really been so exciting. So, I'm just excited all over again thinking about it.
Love it. That what actually leads me, what you just said, to my next question is, what did you learn about yourself in this really pretty monumental world travel? Especially, I feel like every time I look at your Instagram, you're somewhere new. We haven't even made it through half of the year, and how many countries have you been in already? You're all over the
I don't
place.
know, a bunch. No,
Just lost track.
I don't know, a bunch, yeah.
But what's it made you learn about yourself, and what do you think other women in the second half of their lives can experience? What would be the best possible thing that they could experience just by the power of saying yes? Okay, when it comes to cooking and doing it in a way that is healthy for your fit life, there's a few things that we have to keep in mind. Number one, is it functional? Number two, is it clean? Meaning, does it contain any of those yucky coatings that they add to cookware nowadays, especially the nonstick kind? We don't need that. We don't want that. And number three, is it pretty? Because, hey, if it's aesthetic, it's going to make us feel pretty good when we cook on it. And that's why I am totally digging HexClad cookware. Talk about the most gorgeous cookware you will ever use. Plus, it's totally functional and healthy to use. HexClad's patented hybrid cookware brings performance of the stainless steel, the durability of cast iron, and the convenience of nonstick all in one. That, my friends, is Michelin level standards with cleanup convenience, because when we're cooking at home, we don't want to be scrubbing dishes all day long either. So now you can unleash your potential in the kitchen without any limits. What I love about it, that nonstick hybrid technology coupled with excellent temperature control. You've got to be able to temper your temperature to get that great sear and to do the nice poaches. Easy care, so it's going to clean up easy, and easy cleaning. All of that with the additional benefit of being free from toxic coatings and having a lifetime warranty. This is the cookware you're going to use for life, my friends. So it's time to take a little assessment of the cookware that you have. If you have your hand-me-down Teflon cookware, it's time to throw it out and invest in a nice new set. And HexClad is going to deliver on its promise with that lifetime warranty. I can't recommend it enough. I'm totally infatuated with mine. Can I say that? Infatuated? And I know you're going to be too. So make sure you head over to hexclad.com/Chef Mareya, and you'll get up to 30% off your new cookware. Start the year off right and cook with delight. How about that for a rhyme? No, seriously though. Use my code Chef Mareya at hexclad.com. That's HEXCLAD.com. And you'll get up to 30% off your purchase. You will not be disappointed.
There's so much, but I would say you get to do this on your own terms. You get to do exactly what you want to do every day, the way you want to do it. You are not bound by some rigorous schedule that someone else has dictated to you, with certain times to be certain places. That is one cool thing. And I would just say you're not going to miss out because of your fears. I mean, women, we are missing out every day because of our fears, and you just got to stop it, and turn it around. We all get scared, and do it scared. It's kind of like in bodybuilding, getting on that stage.
Yeah.
We're doing it scared. We're scared, but we're doing it anyway. And be prepared. That's the other thing. Be as prepared as you can. And I really haven't felt scared like a fear of my life anywhere in all these travels that I've done. I really haven't. And I'm not saying that that's not possible, but I feel like I have been careful and cautious, and it's so empowering, Mareya. I mean, you've done it too. It feels so good. I mean, one of your questions here was, what do you think, how it's empowering? It's at a time whenever we might feel helpless or powerless as we age. We feel invisible. Well, you can just, all that stuff, I'm a badass, man. That's how I can feel. I'm a badass. I did this on my own. And there's more places I'm going to go. And I don't have to wait for someone else to go, wait for someone else's schedule to free up so I can travel. I guess that is the best and the coolest thing about it, is that I'm not waiting on anyone. And if people want to come along, well, as long as they can keep up with me, they might be invited.
That's going to be the problem, Renee, is finding people to keep up with you. I think that it allows you not only flexibility, but I think it allows you the opportunity to engage more with people in country. Because when you see somebody alone, I think, and this is just my perception, I'd love your thoughts about this, you're more willing to engage with them. You see them alone at dinner, or you see them, at a function, two people might, if they're together, they're talking to each other. But somebody that's solo is going to be more open to talking to locals. Have you ever just sat down at a restaurant and had a conversation with a complete stranger, or on a flight or wherever, just in transit, that had you go, wow, that's amazing. I would never have had that conversation had I been with someone else?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's happened different times. It has. And one time I really remember, it's really insignificant, but when I was at the airport going from Dubai to Qatar a couple of years ago, when I did my first trip there, I remember I got some food and I had my tray and I was looking in the dining area to find a place to sit. I mean, I had some whatever food they served there that I could get, that I could eat, because I'm so picky. And so I'm holding my tray, and this young woman, probably 20 years old, dressed in the hijab or whatever you call it, she said, come and sit with us. She invited me and her two other young friends. I think they were her brothers and sisters. So there was one spot left at a table for four, and they invited me to sit there. And it was the sweetest thing. I mean, that was so generous and respectful. And we had a quick conversation while that was, and we talked, and of course we're Instagram friends now. And it was just beautiful. I mean, that's one interaction I remember so well. It was amazing that people are so open. Now, another thing, when I travel, I'm jumping around here, I have met so many wonderful people on airplanes, and these flight attendants that are in these foreign countries. I have one woman, looks like you. She was on a British Airways flight, and she's adorable. And I told her, your twin, lives in the U.S., and she was adorable. Another one from the Qatar Airways. I mean, just beautiful people. They are so open to meeting. Now, I'm an open person. I feel like that has something to do with it too. I'm not closed. Okay. So I smile. It's free to smile, and so I feel like that helps too, is being open whenever you do go out solo.
I love that. And your bodybuilding community, it sounds like, has really opened the door for so many opportunities, as well as just your social media presence. I mean, being able to meet people in country and having never met them in person, have them be so hospitable. Is there a country that you have been to that you would recommend to a friend who had never traveled on her own? Where would you say would be a great place to go?
Wow. Well, Italy, probably, because Italy, everybody's so open there. At least I have had that experience. I mean, that just comes to mind when you're asking me what country. I mean, I will go back to Italy repeatedly. You know, I look for excuses to go to Italy.
Me too.
There's something about Italy. I mean, I just got back from Spain and it was fantastic. Everybody was wonderful. There's something about Italy. There's all kind of quaint places you can go. People are lovely there. I'm not sure what your experience is, but I would say Italy. Where in Italy? Well, there's so many places in Italy. You know, there's so many small little villages, but that would be my first thought, Italy. And if people are afraid to go that far away, well, go on a cruise. That's another super easy way as a solo person is to find a cruise that's going to a few places maybe you haven't been before. You know, fly to the port, spend a night ahead of time, and go on a cruise. And that is so easy. You know, I'm a big cruiser. Last year I did 8 cruises, and I haven't hit the point this year of doing that many because I'm doing other things. But so a cruise is another way to do it, and or just for people who are too scared, just take a weekend trip somewhere. You know, if you can't, if out of the country is too big, and it might be too big, you know, start with a long weekend somewhere that Southwest Airlines can fly you to, or just you can drive to in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And that's what I would just say. Just don't you know, totally block that out because there is so much you can learn. There's so much you can enrich in your heart just from being solo whenever you travel.
Definitely. I just did a retreat not that far from my house, actually. This past weekend, it was a yoga and wellness retreat, and it was just a 2-hour drive away, but I went by myself and I met so many lovely women. And sometimes just doing a retreat, you know, that you don't even have to get on a plane for, or, you know, maybe you just take a short flight domestically. Solo travel doesn't have to be international. It just means you're going outside of your own 4 walls to meet people on your own and not necessarily knowing who's on the other side.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
Have you ever gone to another country and been a little bit like, well, I don't know what the food's going to be like, and then had the food and was like, wow, this is just amazing? What was that meal? What did you have?
Gee, I know, and you're a foodie, so I should have a good answer for this.
I mean, let's face it, Italy, of course the food's going to be amazing.
It's fantastic. It is. I'm trying to remember. There were some places in Thailand. I like spicy food, and you know, you don't know exactly what you're going to get in some of these countries. But I can't think of a specific place. But in general, and I'm a pescatarian, so I'm looking for seafood wherever I go. And there was tons of good food there. I don't have a specific thing that I could say this meal was the best or whatever. But there's just so many different types of foods, and I felt like Thailand was kind of a magical place, and the food was delicious.
Thai is one of my favorites. I would say it's probably in the top 5 of my favorites. Definitely amazing, and so many different wonderful types of Thai food depending on what part of the country you're in. I bet you had some good curry.
I did. It was so good. So many good things.
So good. You know, and I would say that's probably, of course, one of the benefits of traveling is to be able to try authentic food in country, because if you have Thai food here, you will find it's quite different in Thailand. There are a lot of native ingredients that are hard to find here. So you're finding a cuisine that's true to its roots with ingredients that are true to its roots, you know, in country. And I think that's always really exciting. I was just in Portugal and just became absolutely enamored by Portuguese food. Didn't really have as much exposure to Portuguese food prior to that, but I was just delighted with all of the seafood, and man, you would love the seafood.
Well, I have been to Portugal, and I did love
You
it.
have? Okay.
Yeah, I have it. Sorry, I've been there, done that. But I would go
Yeah.
back to Portugal, and because it was lovely and so many different things going on. And I do remember great food there too. And getting, it's another thing, you got to try new stuff. And they had lots of yummy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's really important to venture out and try new things. I tried tongue for the first time in Italy like 20 years ago, and I was just blown away by how good it was. And what do you think are must pack things that you always have with you on your trips to keep you comfortable and
Well,
safe?
I love to have my coffee and my little heating element. That coffee and that heating element, I take that all around the world with me. It's a little heating element to put in my mug, and it heats water for me to have coffee. So I love to have in my coffee. So that would be kind of a convenience thing that comes to mind as far as that goes.
It's not from a needle, a pill, or a prescription. My favorite biohack for managing pain, helping gut health, managing mood, energizing my body from head to toe, and the perfect glow up is red light and infrared therapy. I cannot tell you enough about how much I love it. And my go-to is Loombox. It's a portable red light and infrared therapy box. And it's so portable, you can take it with you. I travel with it everywhere. It is literally indispensable. And just 10 to 12 minutes a day is really all you need. I've seen a huge difference in my complexion. It helps with fine lines and with skin clarity, and has helped a lot of people that have skin issues. So if you have eczema or psoriasis, it's something that you want to take a look at. It's also tested by NASA. So there's a lot of data and science. It's not just one of these things where people are like, oh yeah, it works, or, I don't know. It's actually proven with multiple hundreds of scientific papers. And what I love about Loombox is it's so much more powerful than other light therapy type boxes or solutions. And you are going to get the most mileage out of this because it's something that you can use for so many different things. Managing pain, when I was recovering from my torn ACL and now my latest accident with my dog running into me full speed, all 75 pounds of him into my knees, it's something that I use all the time. I also use it to manage pain and inflammation after my workouts. And basically, it's my therapy every single day, especially during the long winter months where we don't get that much sunlight. You got to try it. That's all I'm going to say. I can't recommend it enough. And you can get up to $250 off of Loombox with my code Chef Mareya. You'll just go to the Loombox, that's the LUMEBOX.com/Chef Mareya, or just go to the loombox.com and use Chef Mareya at checkout for your discount. I'm telling you, it is the investment that will pay back in dividends for your health. I love it.
So you're making your coffee. Is it a special kind of coffee?
It's just my instant coffee, and I have a little package. I have my sweetener, my creamer, my little instant coffee, and I have a little mug, and I have this little heating element that I plug in, and it heats my water, so I have my coffee wherever I am.
You could be anywhere and have your coffee.
Exactly. And I don't like to have to go downstairs, put on my makeup and dress just to go get my first cup of coffee. So if I have that with me at all times, then it's handy. And that's what it really important to me. So it's a silly.
Yeah, creature comforts.
It is totally that, creature comforts. That comes to mind, as far as other things that makes me feel safe. I don't know, making sure that my phone, I have plenty of chargers. I like to make sure I have plenty, not just one, maybe three, with everything that goes with it, because that's important, being able to communicate and not to lose touch. So I would say the phone is really an important part of staying connected. It really is.
And like a battery pack or something,
Oh, yeah,
like
for
an
sure.
extra.
A couple of battery packs, yes.
I had a situation. I went to St. Martin for work. I was doing some chef work for their annual festival, and I didn't look to see what kind of chargers they use there. And I really got stuck. I got stuck without power because I didn't bring the right charger to fit into the outlets there. So
Where was
I
this?
can't
What kind?
recommend that enough. You
Oh
need to make
yeah.
sure and see what kind of outlets they use.
Oh yeah. Like well, you just need one of these things right here. This is the everything converter for every country, and I
Yes,
okay.
that did not
Oh well, see,
exist. That's a
it's
relatively new
it's got
thing.
all
I
these
did
things.
didn't exist when I was there.
I've got a couple of these. So yeah, so this is what you want. This has everything. It changes to all the different countries. I keep it here. I use it in Houston. I mean, it's like, this is what I'm charging right now to keep you alive while I'm talking. But yeah, so one of these
Yeah,
things,
yeah, that's such a smart
it
thing,
is
and it's
great.
nice because you can plug in like multiple USB
Hmm.
devices into it, or
Right.
whatever other plugs that you
Hmm.
need to have. I love
Absolutely.
that little cube.
So
We'll
that's
we'll we'll post a link to that in the show notes because I
okay.
think people need one of those
Yeah,
for
they do.
sure.
They do. Absolutely.
What about comfort? I mean, I I don't think of myself as a high maintenance person, but when I'm traveling, I first of all, like sleep is so important to me,
Hmm.
so I always bring a neck pillow. I've always got a blindfold.
Hmm.
I gotta have all my supplement. Packing my supplements takes the longest. I can pack everything into a duffel bag, but it takes me 2 hours to pack all my supplements up. Are
Yeah,
you,
me
do you
too.
do this?
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
honestly, when I travel, I bring everything, and I bring a lot of packages of my salmon and tuna. These little foil pack, those pouches. I take those with me. They're as much as I have my coffee. I have those, but supplements too, and it's all important
Mhm.
to so you can continue maintain your health while you're gone. So that's important. I always take extra antibiotics and things like that, just in case somebody gets sick, if I get sick. And that's probably important too, to try to stay well. And I'm very picky about, like in Thailand, I didn't drink any of their water, even brushing your teeth. You don't use that tap water because everybody got Bali belly, but me, because I was very meticulous about it. So, but it's part of all that. So, yeah, the supplements are important. And, I would just say, I don't even bring one of those neck pillows. Not that it's not a good idea, but I do. I like to have the most comfortable things when I'm on the airplane. I don't like to look trashy, and I'm not a big fan of wearing all the athleisure on the airplane. But I usually wear. I have these great baggy jeans that have a lot of pockets in them, and I wear it all the time. And then I'll bring a change. Maybe if it's a sleeping flight, I'm going to bring some leggings that I can switch into, workout leggings that are comfortable, so I can sleep in those, and then change.
You always dress to the nines, Renee.
Well, I do the best
I
I
can't
can.
imagine you in baggy sweats.
Oh yeah, so I'm not a baggy sweat kind of guy. I don't like any these pullovers over your head. I don't like those. I'll bring a scarf, and I'm going to be warm, but yeah, I try to travel light. And I've done it so much. You figure out where to put everything, and I don't get any fancy schmancy stuff that I'm worried about losing. That's the other thing. No fancy jewelry, or you don't want to call attention to yourself. I guess that's a big thing as a
I think
solo
that's an
traveler.
important safety
Hmm.
precaution
Hmm.
is travel is not when you want to bling out with the real stuff. I
That's
mean,
right.
wear your costume jewelry, knock yourself out,
Hmm.
but I always leave like expensive, my wedding ring, my engagement ring and stuff. I never travel with
I
it.
think that's just smart to do it there. And you don't want to call attention to the fact that you're alone. When you're in a hotel room or anywhere, you don't have to make it obvious. I mean, there's lots of ways that I try to do that too. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you like to stay in hotels or do you prefer Airbnbs or do you have a preference?
Well, when you're all by yourself, I feel like a hotel is safer because Airbnbs, the access may be compromised. You don't know the environment. I mean, I love the convenience of
Mhm.
Airbnbs because they have more. But if it's a hotel environment, or if an Airbnb has some kind of a concierge area, lobby where people can go in, then that would be okay. But in general, and I do stay at Airbnbs, but when I'm traveling, I'm probably looking for a safe hotel, nothing fancy necessarily, but where I can feel that there's some safety factors in place.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And, there's safety in numbers usually. So
Yeah.
if you're not kind of set off by yourself.
Yeah. Now,
Are you a window seat or an aisle kind of gal? I know you're not in the middle.
I'm an aisle seat girl. I've got these long legs, 5 foot tall. I need my aisle seat. No, actually, I get up a lot.
Is that so you can just jump out and run to the bathroom
right.
when you need to?
That's right, because I'm still trying to hydrate when I'm on a flight. That means I'm going to go pee a lot. And so definitely I want an aisle seat. And I'll pay extra for it if I can, if I need to. But yeah, I'm an aisle seat person for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I have a question. So how do you stay present when you travel? I feel like oftentimes we're on our phones. I mean, both of us are, on social media for our businesses and stuff. Like, how do you stay present and not just get inundated by, oh, I should get a video of that, or, oh, that's a perfect photo for my Instagram. Like, how do you stay present?
And that's a really good question. And it's true. There's so many, temptations there to video everything. And I do tons of video, and I put very little of it actually on social media. But I do.
I'm the same. I'm like, I have thousands of photos that will never see the light of day.
It's embarrassing. I mean, I have about 80,000 photos, over time. But and I'm terrible about deleting. But actually, and so what happens is, I try to do some quick stories or whatever. That's an easy way to do it when you're gone. But I remind myself, hey, this is my trip. I love all my people, on my social media because they are wonderful. But I'm doing this for me, and I have to be a little selfish, because that's part of how you get yourself, re-energized, and all that is to take in everything and to soak it in.
Yeah.
And be grateful. You got to remember gratitude. I guess that's part of it. But so I do try to remember that this is my trip. It's not, I'm not doing this for other people. I'm doing it for me. Now I'm doing it also. In the process of doing this by myself, it is something that I know if I share, it's going to help other people. And so it's something that I want to do. I do want to share, but I have to remember to put myself first again. It's all about loving yourself, right? And self-care and self-love. And so you have to take care of you first. And then, once you put that air thing on, then you can take care of the people next door. So.
Yeah. I love that analogy. Put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on other people.
Right.
So what's next, Renee? What's next? What you got going? What you got cooking?
Well, okay, so many things, but the most immediate thing is that, like you mentioned, I am going to be in a pageant. It's the Classic Universe pageant and I'll be representing Texas. And I have never done this before.
Look at you, Texas.
That's right.
Wait, what does that say?
It's a Classic Universe woman. Okay, and I'm the delegate for Texas, so. I'm still learning all about it, but it's.
I got chills just hearing you say that.
I can't even believe it. And I've never done this. It's in like 42 days is the pageant. And this is something that I said yes to, Mareya, that I said no to for a couple of years. People were, asking me to be a part of the pageant, and I said no. But finally, last year, I said, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. And why am I doing it? I got enough to do, right? But really, it's another platform for me to share, that it's never too late to get fit. You can be strong at any age. There's no expiration date to strength. And if this is a chance for me to spread that word more, that's what I get to do. And so that is so exciting for me. And it is, it's different, totally different from bodybuilding. It's so different. And I'm just kind of jumping in here with both feet. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's July the 12th through the 16th in Las Vegas at the Orleans Hotel, in case anybody wants to go and cheer me on, or women who might want to do it. Maybe next year someone wants to do a pageant. If you have some kind of platform, some purpose that you have, this is a way to share that with others. It really is. It's a cool thing, and it's another sisterhood. It's like I have my angel sisterhood, I got my bodybuilding sisterhood, and this is another whole sisterhood. So that's right. I'm doing it. So shout out to the
So excited. And I'm going to be there to cheer you on.
God.
I'm so excited.
I forgot you said you might want to go. That makes me feel so good because I do most everything I do solo. Honestly, all these trips are solo. My competitions, the angel shows, it's pretty much solo. I don't really have companions that travel with me. So it's just a bonus that you might want to come and just to catch up with you and get, hug you and get to spend some time.
Oh, so excited. Well, and I think, aside from solo travel, let's just end our time together today by just talking about doing solo things because maybe it's not travel. Maybe it's just taking yourself out on a date, going to your favorite restaurant or doing a competition or going, whatever it is, but going to a movie. Remember the first time I took myself to a movie theater by myself, I was like, wow, this isn't so scary, but I think we often do have a fear of being alone. What would you say to the woman that's like, I'm never alone? What would you say?
Try something small. Do it because you're going to feel so good after. It's all about, getting out of your comfort zone. It's about do it scared. Okay. Go do it. What's it going to hurt? I'd say go to a movie. I want to see The Devil Wears Prada 2, and I haven't gotten to see it yet. And nobody I know seems to be interested. So I'm going to probably take myself to that movie soon because I want to go see it. And, just remember, not anybody else is really paying attention to the fact that you're by yourself anyway. People don't really care. They're so wrapped up in themselves. So I would just say, just put that aside and put that fear away. Do it scared and you won't regret it. And it's just life changing. I mean, at 74, I just have so many more opportunities because I haven't held myself back from doing those things because of fear.
74 years young. Renee, it's always such a pleasure to chat with you and be inspired by you. You are just a shining star, a shining light for me. I'm so blessed. And I can't wait to cheer you on the stage. And thank you for empowering other women to feel good about just, you're not alone, really. No. And you're certainly not lonely when you do things solo because you always have yourself. So I want to encourage you today, if you've been thinking about taking that trip or you've been thinking about going to do that thing, even if people do want to go with you, maybe you just want to go by yourself so you have a different type of experience.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me again, Mareya, because we do have such great energy. And this is such an important thing to get out to these ladies, men, whomever, that you can do lots of things by yourselves. And, you have that power. It makes you feel so good whenever you do it. It's like, man, I did this and you can do so much more. Baby steps, I think taking some baby steps is what it's all about.
Yeah. We're there. Love you, Renee.
I love you. I can't wait to see you and hug you. Oh my God, I can't wait. I mean, we'll catch up later, and I'm here for anybody and everybody who has questions. I mean, reach out to me.
Yes, let's end with that. Where's the best people? Where is the best place for people to find you?
Well, I'm on Instagram, YouTube are the main ones. I am on Facebook and TikTok, but Instagram, Renee Fit at 70. The same with YouTube, Renee Fit at 70. And I try hard to respond to people. And I was just featured in this docu-series on YouTube called Human. So I hope that y'all will get a chance to look at that and message me. Anybody who reaches out to me, messages me, hey, I saw you on Mareya's podcast or whatever. And I'll try to reach out back to you. And I'm just here to cheer you on. I'm not really selling any big anything except encouragement, and empowerment.
And that is a gift indeed, waiting for you to grab. All right, my dear, we will chat soon.
Okay, sounds great. Bye.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal health advice. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. This podcast is not intended to replace professional medical advice, and the views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or the management. Hey, it's Chef Mareya, and thank you so much for tuning into The Real Dish. It means a lot to me that you're here. I hope today's episode has inspired you to take some proactive steps towards a healthier and happier you. Because just remember, bite-sized changes can lead to big transformations. But before you go, would you do me a big favor? If you found value in this episode, would you share it with 2 of your closest friends and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode? And if you really want to make this girl's day, would you leave a 5-star review? I do hear an angel gets its wings every time you do that. But really, this helps us spread the message of real-life wellness to even more listeners. And everybody could use a healthy portion of that, right? Now, until next time, remember, you are the chef of your own kitchen. So feed your life well, make good decisions, prioritize your well-being, and remember, you need to take care of you because we only get one of you and you are a gift to everyone around you. So until next week, this is Chef Mareya signing off. And just remember, we're here to cook up a good time every single week. We'll see you soon.